Hello and welcome to my Sunday chat. I'm Richard Vobes, the Bald Explorer, and this is the Sunday chat for the 19th of September 2021. Welcome one and all. This is my chance, as you know, regular viewers know this. This is my chance to have a little catch-up, chinwag, and tell you and bring you up to date with all things Bald Explorer. It's nice to have this sort of little chat because it makes me think about the stuff that I'm doing and hone and pin down some of the plans that I've got. Some of them do go by the wayside, I know. I mean, I had this crazy idea of putting an outdoor motor, an outboard motor, I think it's called, on my coracle. It's not going to happen this year. It would be fun to do it next year, possibly. But I've had lots of interesting comments about that. One that it may actually not work. Although I did see a YouTube clip with somebody doing it many years ago. But hey, you know, I come up with crazy ideas, and I have another crazy idea in today's show to tell you about. But more about that later. First of all, thank you for all the lovely comments and things that you do, and all the wonderful gifts and the donations and the support and the love, if you like, that you throw my way. It is very much appreciated. I do try to answer some of the comments. I do try at least to put those hearts on the comments. On Facebook, not so easy to do that. I only have limited amount of time, and I do concentrate most of my efforts on YouTube because, well, to be honest with you, I mean, completely frank, that's where the money is. And I don't want to sound mercenary, but of course, I'm trying to make this a full-time job. Well, it is a full-time job. I'm actually just trying to make some income from it so that I can keep going and keep people entertained. And unfortunately, Facebook, I don't really earn anything from it, but I do run the group, as you know, and so I do try to keep a presence in there. But my main aim is to keep making the videos, and it can take time, as I'm sure you are aware. So, that said, I wanted to thank Angela Skelton for sending me this wonderful card with this very frightening cow, as you can see on there, this terrifying image. And it says, "Dear Richard, I saw these and thought of you. Can't think why," she says. This lovely card reminds me of our group walk in Pulborough. And actually, we did see, I think, one of these in one of the fields briefly on the way back. Best regards from Angela Skelton. Angela, thank you so much for this and for these. A set of coasters. I'm not quite sure the relevance of coasters, but I love the idea that there's a cow on it. And there's a pig on the other side. I haven't actually taken them out. Might put them in my van. Do you think coasters in a van would be a good idea? Be quite nice because when you put your cup down, yeah, I've seen that somewhere before. Can't think where. But Angela, thank you so much for that. It's really kind. It did give me a good laugh and a giggle when it arrived a couple of days ago. So very much appreciate that. Also, I want to thank Ian McCagan for allowing me to camp once again, oh hello, in your field. It was so nice to take the van, the transit van, my black van, and spend the night. It was only one night, it's a shame. But this time I spent the night, and you saw a video that went out yesterday on Saturday. If you're watching this on the Sunday it goes out, you might be watching this another time, of course, so in which case all of that is irrelevant. But if you did see it on the previous video, maybe that's a better way of saying it. The previous video, I was there doing just a piece to camera about the fact that I'm aiming to try and do these long format ones that I'm doing, but occasionally you might get a short one slipped in because it's just a lot more time consuming. And I like to try and fit in a lot of stuff in the long format one. By long format, I just don't mean that I want to extend a walk going from the van to, I don't know, a hill or a church or a forest or whatever, and it just takes 25 minutes to do it instead of 10 minutes, because I think that will just be a bit too long and a bit too boring unless there was a lot of things happening. So I try to fit in a number of the elements that I've had in my previous videos, like stuff at home and stuff where I meet the lovely Julia and things that I'm doing, so you get a sense of what it is, A, to be the Bald Explorer, and B, to, as people have said, I'm a bit quirky. I don't know whether I would go so far to say eccentric, but maybe making a living from YouTube and making YouTube videos all the time is a bit eccentric. But it's certainly English, and so that's really what my quest is. My quest for England is trying to show what an Englishman does in the country today. And every English person is slightly different, so there's no fixed answer, and I appreciate that. So my version of Englishness is going to be very different from a next person of Englishness, but somewhere in all of that difference there is some strand that makes us the same, and that's, I suppose, partly what it is I'm searching for or trying to demonstrate, and trying to hold on, like our customs and traditions and our history and our old ways of life, and trying to sort of slow the pace of progression down a bit, because if we progress, I think, too quickly, we lose everything that we've got behind. We need to absorb all of that stuff behind and appreciate it. And I think sometimes people don't appreciate where we've got to from all those wonderful things that we've developed and invented, or the adventures that we've had, or the things that we've conquered. And I know that some people just want to sort of rub the past away as if it didn't matter. But it's what makes us who we are. So it does actually matter. So thanks to Ian for letting me camp. Very English thing, I think, camping, although of course lots of other nationalities go camping, so I can't exclaim that exclusively, but in your field. And thanks for taking me to a very interesting chapel. Now, I'm not going to reveal where we go, because it was a fascinating place. I've never seen anything like it, and it will appear in Tuesday's video. It's all edited up now, and it will be going online very soon. So it'll be ready for Tuesday. So do check out that. It's part of the next long format video. So thank you, Ian. Also on the cards is good old bong, bong, Ringer Ollie. We've got a provisional date, Ringer Ollie and I, to go and have a walk around a church. Again, I'm going to be vague about where it is, and a village, because there's lots of interesting things to see, apparently. So I'm going to be in Ringer Ollie's hands. Oh, yeah. Well, hopefully he will be awake, and hopefully he'll be all genned up. Of course he will. Apparently, he and his team have won an award for something or other, so I'm hoping that he will be able to tell me all about that. It's quite a prestigious bell-ringing, tower-keeping, church appreciation, English-type thing. I don't know anything about it, to be honest with you, but I'm hoping that it is something like that. But I know he's very proud of it, so I'm sure he'll be waxing lyrical about that. So that's coming up fairly soon. Can't tell you when, because we sometimes have to shift the date about. You know, it's like you make these dates with people, and then the weather is not conducive, and that's the problem when we get into this time of year, when suddenly there's wind and there's rain and things aren't as great as it might be. And I, in the past, have sort of shifted. I try not to, because these are great things to include in the videos. Now, I wanted to tell you about this crazy idea. Now, I had this idea during one of my Vobes shows. If you're not familiar with the Vobes show, it's a bit of a fruitcake kind of show. It's an interaction show in this studio, but it goes out live on a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday evening at 8 o'clock UK time. And it's about an hour and a half. We have contributions from other people. They send in their videos, and we have a chat area, and I chat to the audience, and we talk about sometimes things that are in the news that are important to us, but often all sorts of stupid stuff. It's great fun. And we have live reaction phone calls and bits and bobs. It is fun. And often I muck about and come up with some stupid things. The lovely Julia is regularly doing it with me. She's my co-host on that, and it's working very well. And in an episode of that, I had this crazy idea that wouldn't it be fun to hitchhike on the canal system on video. Now, I don't know how practical any of this is, because we know that canal boats only go at maximum of 4 miles an hour, so it sounds like a complete nutty scheme if you ask me. But if we could find enough people who have canal boats and who are willing to have a go, then I sort of hitchhike with my camera onto different canal boats, meet the people, talk about their canal, or their boat and the canal and places they've gone. Then they drop me off, and I probably need to have a bicycle, I reckon, with me, something like that, or an electric scooter. That would be good, wouldn't it? An electric scooter. And then I scooter back, because we'll be, say, travel an hour on the canal. How many miles do you go? If you're going at 4 miles an hour, you're probably 4 miles an hour. There you go. You go 4 miles. So I could then cycle back to my van, get back on the van, and then drive over to another canal, which might be an hour or so away, and try and meet up with somebody else. And I reckon I could camp in the van and over a week maybe see, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8 different boaters. And it would be great fun to just sort of do this kind of weird hitchhiking for an hour on a canal boat and get a bit of scenery, get a bit of history and all of that. What do you think? Do you think it's good? Now, whether we can do it this year or we save it up for right at the beginning of the spring when the canal systems are more open, because some of them sort of close down a little bit during the winter because they're doing repairs, that might be an idea. And I haven't forgotten, those people who think I haven't forgotten, I still want to do this puppet thing with lovely Andrew Norris, in which we follow in the footsteps of this character who wrote this book, whose name now, as I record this, I've forgotten his name. It'll probably come to me the minute I switch this off. But anyway, you know what it is if you've been following Get This Puppet Booth up and make this sort of dedicated video, because we read a number of his books. Now, talking of that, people have asked me, when is the Listen with Vobes coming back? And at the moment, I still am a bit undecided because it's a commitment. We did it at 4 o'clock in the evenings every day live on a very small show where I was reading old books. But we mainly did it to get through COVID and the lockdowns. Well, I'm hoping that we don't have to go back into lockdown or anything like that. So at the moment, I'm a bit undecided. I said that in the autumn I would probably bring it back. And now that I'm doing these longer formats, it's sort of a commitment that is a bit difficult to hold on to at the moment because I'm trying to get these trips in. But let me continue to think about it a bit longer, if that's okay. We'll see how we go. Talking of trips, I have got some trips. I want to get up to Shropshire again, see the lovely Harriet, who I used to know very well, and we made several videos around Shrewsbury, or Shrewsbury, depending on how you want to pronounce it, and places in that area like the Longmynd and all sorts of interesting places. I want to do that. I'd like to get into Cheshire and a number of other places in the sort of West Midlands, which would be fascinating. But again, it's all a question of weather and getting all the dates up. But that's on the cards. I do have, and it's all ready to go, and it will be happening in a few days' time now, my Suffolk trip, where I head off to Suffolk to meet up with Windmill Bob. And we're going to go and look at some windmills in Suffolk. And possibly some churches and other bits and bobs. It's probably, I'm only going to go for 3 days, so I'll be away for 2 nights. So I'd be out of the running, but I will hopefully come back with a long format video that will sort of chart that whole adventure. So and maybe more. Maybe it will spill into 2 events. Depends how much we film. So we'll see how that goes. Excuse me, itchy nose. And finally, the Bald Explorer Walk. This is the group walk that we do. We do it at the end of every month. We try to alternate the date on a Saturday and Sunday, because I know some people work at the weekends. So it's always the last Saturday and Sunday of the month, unless it's a bank holiday, and then we try not to do that. So the next walk will be the 26th, which is, I think it's the Sunday. I can't remember now. I think it's the Sunday. The 26th of September. And we're meeting at Ditchling Common Car Park. Ditchling Common. Ditchling is in East Sussex. And bring a packed lunch if you want to have something to eat en route. We will stop for about half an hour, something like that. It's a 3-mile walk, and we start at we aim to get everybody there around about 10:30 for an 11 o'clock set off. And if we allow that half an hour for people to get late, stuck in traffic, or get lost and what have you, then everybody's there by 11 and we can all go. So that's the big plan. So there we go. Thank you very much for watching my Sunday chat. I hope you have a lovely day, whatever it is you're getting up to. Hope the weather holds out. And I will hopefully, fingers crossed, see some of you on the next Sunday, because that will be the walk. And also, I'll be back on the Sunday chat as well. So lots of things going on. Thanks for listening. Take care. Look after yourself. And bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.